Hello everyone, this is Damien from the Learn English Through Football team, and I hope you are all doing well. I am here in London where it is still cold, though the sun has started to come out, which is good. How did your team get on at the weekend? Did they win or lose? My favourite team, Tottenham, did not play this weekend as they have already been knocked out of the FA Cup. They were beaten by Aston Villa in the third round. Now, on today's show, we are going to look at the FA Cup fifth round and some language that came from the Port Vale versus Sunderland game. And this week's phrase is to be into the next round. So we are going to talk about language connected to qualifying for the next round of a cup or competition.
Vous écoutez languagecaster.com.
Yes, you are listening to the Learn English Through Football podcast, or as we were known before, LanguageCaster, and that message was in French. Right, this week's football expression is to be into the next round. And this is a phrase we might hear when one team defeats another team to qualify for the next round of a competition or tournament. In this weekend's FA Cup fifth round, League One side Port Vale defeated Premier League side Sunderland to qualify for the next round, the quarter-finals. So, another way of saying this is Port Vale are into the next round. They have made it to the next round. They have progressed to the next round, or they have reached the next round. This is what their goal scorer Ben Waine said after the game. I didn't even clock or realise it was the quarters we got into, to be honest. I just heard that. I know it was 30 years to get into this round. It's amazing. He doesn't use the verb to be with the phrase, but instead uses get, to get into this round, the last eight. And this is how he described qualifying for the quarter-final. In another example from the FA's website about Leeds United's win against Norwich, we can see the phrase again, used with a different verb. Leeds ease into last eight, which means that Leeds qualified for the last eight in an easy manner. They comfortably beat Norwich 3-0. So, to be into the next round or to get into the next round both mean that a team has qualified for the next round of a competition or a tournament. It's the last 16 of the Champions League this week. Which teams do you think will make it into the last eight? Which teams will be into the last eight?
You're listening to the Learn English Through Football podcast.
Okay, so on this week's football expression, we have looked at the phrase to be into the next round, which is another way of saying qualify for the next round. Other ways of saying this expression include progress to the next round, make it to the next round, and then if a team just about qualifies, we can say that they scraped into the next round. Can you think of any other words or phrases that are linked to this phrase? How about in another language that you know? Will your team make it into the next round? Let us know. We have opened a new post on our forum where you can find out more about this phrase. You can also ask and answer any questions about this phrase there, and we also have a short quiz to help you practice. That's it for this week's football expression, to be into the next round. We'll be back with our weekly podcast with more football language at the weekend. Enjoy the football this week, and we'll see you soon. Bye.